Welcome to another episode in the Photographer Workout Series. Got another great workout for you today, and this is one that will really help prepare you for those treks you might take if you're a landscape photographer, the hikes that you need to go to if you're a wedding photographer, just carrying all that equipment around for many hours at a time. So today we're going to use our backpacks. If you don't have a camera backpack, you can use any kind of backpack for this. With the camera backpacks, this happens to be the one I'm going to use today. There is a front pouch that has the dividers meant for your camera lenses, but we're going to use that a little differently today. If you have dumbbells or hand weights like this, now remember, keep it light because this is going to go on your back. I happen to have 3 pounds here. 2 of them equals 6 pounds. Think about how much your camera gear weighs as you put it in there. And you also want to make sure that when you put the weights in the backpack, that you're putting them towards the back so that the weight will be centered on your back and not too much out to the front of the backpack, pulling you backwards. So you want to put them as close to the back of the backpack as possible. If you don't happen to have dumbbells, you can use different things you would have around the house. You can use water bottles. You can use canned goods. Just be mindful with the canned goods. They do get heavy fast, as you know from carrying the grocery bags in. One way you can tell how much weight you've already put in your backpack is to weigh yourself on your scale before, put the backpack on, weigh yourself again, and do the math. Or just determine by how heavy it feels. Something else you can add is a book. And this books weigh a lot, depending on how big they are. And you can use your favorite book. I happen to grab this one from a friend of ours who's also a neighbor, Rick Salmon. My backpack has a slot for, it can be anything, laptop, tablet, whatever. I'm going to put the book in my tablet slot, zip it up, and then I'm going to put my hand weights, again, next to the back of my backpack, close it up, zip it up. Now, if your backpack happens to not have compartments in it like this, if you're using more of a hiking backpack, you want to make sure that things aren't going to rattle around in there as you do these exercises. So I recommend grabbing a towel or a small blanket and wrapping whatever you're going to use up in your towel or blanket, and then put it into the loose compartment of your backpack. So, for example, the top of my backpack happens to be just an open space. So if I put the towel in here like this, everything will be secure and it won't rattle around. Now, when you're done, you want to try the backpack on because the weight might be slightly different than it is with your camera gear in it. So you're going to take that, put it around, make sure the straps are where they need to be. If you have a waist strap, you can use that. Adjust it, and the chest strap the same. Today we're not going to be focusing on anything that will need waist straps and chest straps, so you don't need to worry about that too much today, but it's always a good idea to make those adjustments. So pause the video here. Go and gather what you need to do today's workout and meet me back here. Welcome back. Now that we have all the equipment that we need for today's workout, we're going to get right into it with our warm-up. So let's take our backpack, set it off to the side for now while we do our warm-up. We're going to start just by walking in place here. Jane Fonda would have called it marching. It's okay. Raising our heart rate, raising our core body temperature, getting all of our joints and muscles working together and warmed up This is a good idea to do no matter what you're doing. If you're going out to do a shoot, if you're going for a hike, whatever it is that you're going to do for the day, it's always good to start with a warm-up. And trust me, I know from experience, the older we get, the more important it is to do that. So we're going to start picking our knees up a little bit higher. You can slow the pace down a little bit. Make this your own workout. Work at your own level. Some of you may be a little more familiar with workouts and you want to go at a faster pace, and that's great. Those of you who haven't done a workout program before, this is a whole new thing. Slow it down a little bit. Take a break when you need to. Have your water bottle nearby and feel free to stop and take a sip whenever you need to. Now we're going to start bringing our knees up a little higher, and we're going to put our arms in this movement, opposite hand, opposite leg, just as if you were going to sprint down the road. What we're doing by raising our knees this high is we're engaging our hip flexors, getting those all stretched out. Great thing if you're going to go for a walk or a run or a hike. And we want to get all of those muscles in good shape. If you can't raise your knees this high, that's fine. Again, this is your workout, so work at your own level and your own pace. So now we're going to add a little more to it. We're going to add jumping jacks. Now with the jumping jack, again, knee or hip issues, you can't do that jump. We'll do what's called a step jack. Still raises your heart rate. So we're going to go ahead. Do about 30 seconds of jumping jacks here. That's awesome, guys. Remember, if you need to do the steps instead of the jumps, go right into that. Okay, bring it on down. Keep moving with the hips. Now we're going to add arm circles to this. Good. Really warm up those shoulders. Stretch those arms up. Okay, reverse. Whatever way you were going the first time, go the other way this time. Awesome. You can stretch your fingers out as you're doing this. Really getting those arms warmed up. Okay, bring it down. We want to get our breathing in tow too. So, here we go. Inhale up. Exhale through the mouth down. Inhale through the nose up. Exhale through the mouth down. That's awesome. That breathing technique is a great skill to have because it helps tune your body in. So if you're in a situation that's stressful or if you're anxious about something, you can do that deep breathing technique, 5 or 6 breaths, and you'll feel your body calm. So great tool to have, not just for warm-ups and cool downs. So we're going to do a little bit of side stretching. What I want you to do is take a step out sideways with your right foot. You're going to bend your right knee. You're going to keep your left leg straight. You're going to hinge your hips back. We don't want our knee coming out over our toe. We want our knee staying right over our ankle. You can stretch this leg out, your left leg out a little more if you want to, and come down as far as you can. If all you can do is this, that's awesome. We're looking for a stretch on the inside of this leg. That interior muscle doesn't get a lot of stretching. It's always good to stretch it out. Okay, we're going to come back up. Bring our feet back together. This time we're going to step out with the other leg. This knee is going to bend. This leg is going to be straight, and this is the leg we're stretching. Hip hinge back with the hips and reach for the floor. If you can get lower, go lower. If you can't get that low, that's awesome, stay where you are. As long as you're feeling a stretch in here, you're doing it right. Great, and these stretches we hold for about 20 seconds. And good, come on back up. Wonderful, that's the conclusion of our warm-up. Now we're gonna get right into our workout, so make sure your backpack is handy. Take this moment to grab a drink of water if you need to, and we'll see you for the workout. All right, let's get right into our workout now that we're all warmed up. The first movement that we're gonna do in the workout is a lunge. So before I put my backpack on and get into this, I wanna just demonstrate for you what the lunge looks like. You're gonna start out with your feet about shoulder distance apart. You want them a little wider than maybe normal. And you're gonna step out with one foot, making sure that your knee and your ankle are in line. If you can drop down a little more with the back leg, that's great. If you can't, just stay right here and then back. Make sure when you're stepping out and stepping back that you're stepping wide enough. See, I'm keeping my feet at a wide enough base so that I don't topple over. This is especially important if you're putting weight on your back. If you step out too narrow, you don't have much of a wide base and you're likely to topple. So that's why we want to make sure that we keep a nice wide base as we're doing these lunges. Okay? Grab your backpacks. Put them on. You don't need to adjust the straps for the waist strap and the chest strap if you don't want to. If you're more comfortable doing that, that's fine. I'm going to do these lunges sideways just so you can see. So we're going to do 10 of them, 5 on each side. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can put your hands on your hips. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, the next movement we're going to go into is called a clean and press. If any of you have done any strength or weightlifting, these terms will be familiar. We're going to start with the backpack sideways on the ground. So for this movement, we're going to be holding the backpack at the top and at the bottom. I'm going to be grabbing my waist strap and the top for this. Whatever you have handy on your backpack, it's all individual, that's what you'll use. So we start with our feet, again, shoulder distance apart roughly. We're going to come down. We always want to keep our back flat in these movements. So hinge back at the hips, come down, grab your backpack, come up to here. Next part of this is called the press. So we're going to press overhead. I'm going to just loop through my straps so it doesn't fall in my face. Then back down to the ground. So first movement, we're going to bring it up to here and then press. We're going to do 10 of these. Here we go for number 3. And down. 4. You can go a little faster with that press if you want. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And last one. Now, if you happen to have shoulder issues and putting that weight over your head is uncomfortable or painful, stop here. Don't do the press part. Just stop right here. The next movement we're going to do is a bear hug squat. A couple different ways you can do this, depending on what your backpack looks like. You can grab it like this, or if you actually want to put it on backwards, you can do that too. You can put your arms through the straps that way if you'd like to. I'm going to just hug it. Before we start the first movement, I want to go over the squat again. I know we've talked about this before, but it's important. Hips go back first. Feet are about shoulder distance apart. If you need to turn your toes out slightly, you can do that. We're not plie-ing, so we don't want our toes like this. So either forward, slightly out to the side, hips hinge back first. I'm going back and down, my torso's remaining straight. And if you can get down low enough so that your knees and your hips are parallel, that's awesome. If you can't, because of knee and hip issues, go as far as you can. Again, this is your workout. So let's grab our backpacks again. We're gonna do our bear hug squat. Hold on to this tightly. Don't let it pull you forward. That being the key. Again, we're gonna do 10 repetitions, and here we go. 10, 9, 8. Again, if you need to slow it down or speed it up, please feel free. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back up. We're going to go right back into our walking lunge. Forgot to mention, guys, we're going to do 3 rounds of this. So that was round number 1. Putting the backpack on for the walking lunge. This time I'm going to face forward. Always make sure that you look around before you start a movement to make sure that there's nothing on the floor that you can trip over. Safety first. All right, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Come on up. We're ready for that clean and press. Again, grab your straps however you need to make this work for you. Last thing you want are the straps smashing you in the face as you're doing this. So again, from the ground, keeping our back flat. Here we go to the clean and press. And 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Right into those bear hug squats. Again, you can put the backpack on backwards or just hug it. Get your feet set in good squat position. And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Round 2 complete. One more round to go with this series. Back on for the walking lunges. Now keep in mind, guys, as the weather gets better and our restrictions are started to be lifted, we can go outside, go on the trail. This workout can be done as you're walking. The lunges you can do in a line Stop and do your presses and your bear hugs. Continue walking with your lunges. It's a great exercise to work into your hike. Here we go with our lunges. Hands on your hips, hands in front, doesn't matter. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Last set of lunges, just so you know. Right into our clean and press. Grab those straps however you need to. Nice flat back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, and 10. Last set of clean and presses. Now here we go into our last set of bear hug squats. Grab that backpack. Feet in squat position. Remember, you can point your toes out a little bit if you need to. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. That finished that part of our workout for today. But guess what? We have a part 2. So now is a great time if you want to grab a drink. Take a second. We'll take about a 1-minute rest. Then we're going to do some floor-based work. With the floor-based work, there's also a way to do it seated if you need to. So join me back here in 30 seconds. All right, guys, here we go with the second part. We're going to do a couple of different movements. The first one is flutter kicks. Now, I'm going to show you what the movement is on the floor, and then I'll show you what you can do in a chair if getting to the floor is uncomfortable or not possible for you with any knee or hip limitations or back. So with the flutter kick, you're going to be laying on the floor. You're going to take your backpack and you're going to hold it straight up so that my wrist and my shoulder are in line. Get a good solid grip on this. You're going to bring your feet about a couple inches off the floor. And this is your flutter kick. Okay? Second movement that we're going to do is we're going to put the backpack on. And we're going to hold a plank. So, full version of the plank is like this. Back is flat. We're not up like this. Hips are dropped. Shoulders are active. You can also come down to your elbows if this is better for you. Again, we don't want to drop our hips or push our hips up. Nice flat back. Awesome. Come on up. Let me show you both of these movements modified. With the plank, you can plank against a wall. So find a nice sturdy space on the wall. Wrists and shoulders are in line. Step your feet back a little bit so it's a little bit challenging. Pull your core in, and by that I mean tighten your belly muscles. Like, you know, you're walking into that room and you want all those belly muscles tight as you're going. So this will be your modification for the weighted plank. Modification for the flutter kicks, you can use a chair. Make sure that it's a sturdy chair, not a folding chair, and that you're seated stably in the chair. You're going to take your backpack still. You're going to hold it out in front of you as you're doing these flutter kicks. So we're working our upper body and our lower body at the same time. And we're going to do 20 seconds of flutter kicks, 20 seconds of weighted planks, and we're going to do that twice. So here we go. I'm going to do the full version. Feel free to do the modified versions that I just showed you. Here we go. Starting our flutter kicks on the floor. And get ready and go. I'm watching that clock just like you are. 5 seconds left. And down. Great job. Now we're going to flip over. However works for you. We're going to put that backpack on. Get up into our good plank position. And again, we're going to hold this for 20 seconds. Remember, we're not sinking down and we're not pushing up. We're holding a nice flat position. Pull that belly in. Don't hold your breath either. You can pull your belly in without holding your breath. And come down. And we're going to turn right back around into that flutter kick. These are both great core exercises. And by core, I don't just mean ab. I mean that whole band around your midsection, front and back and side. Everything we do when we move initiates in that area. So we want to make sure that we protect our spine whenever we're doing anything. Come back down. Getting ready for those weighted flutter kicks. Grab that backpack. Make sure you've got it securely. You want it falling down on you. And here we go. Again, tighten those belly muscles, but breathe. 5 seconds. You can do it. 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Okay, one last plank. Get set up. Wrists underneath your shoulders. Stable base with your feet. Here we go. And come on down. Awesome workout, you guys. Make sure you take a couple minutes now. Take a couple laps around the house, walking. Make sure you hydrate. Staying hydrated. Drinking water, by the way. Coffee and tea do not count. Actually, they dehydrate you. So if you're drinking a lot of coffee and tea, you need to drink even more water. But that's the key to staying healthy and keeping your muscles and joints working properly. So we're going to end this with just a little bit of meditation, and there's going to be a quiet time. Always add this to the end a couple times during your day if you need to, especially during these challenging times. Just sitting and listening to gentle music will help you stay calm and focused. And until next time, be well, my friends.